my God, the mega powers have collided. The cream of the cream is here, man. Welcome to another Two Horseman Podcast. And you're not miscounting. No, there's more than two people up here. You're absolutely right. There's usually more than two people up here. But when we came up with this little thing, we didn't think there was more people that love pro wrestling, but we were obviously wrong. So I am proud. If I am the nature boy, Ric Flair, these guys are my Buddy Rogers. And if you don't understand that reference, you're probably on the wrong show. I am so happy to bring on to the show the guys who inspired me. They took me in, they nestled me close to their bosom, and they took
a big bosom.
They took a little big podcaster who wanted to really be a pro wrestling podcaster, and they taught me the ways. They've invited me onto their show. They've been on there, and this has been a long time coming. But the mega powers are here. I said mega powers. That's a political show. Totally different. The mega powers are here. My brother, Big Gerald, and I would like to give a warm Two Horseman Podcast to the kings of the Dunmarks Podcast. Let's give them a round of applause, everybody.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
I thought this was politicking as usual for a second, the way that started out.
I didn't do much, but you made me feel special.
We
feel like I've done something.
We get the Pat McAfee intro. Like I'm coming on every week just to get an intro.
And that's it. All right, Morris. Nice seeing you. I'm time to go.
Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna walk with a different walk into the bedroom tonight. I'm going. Hey,
I'm available on Cameo for that. A lot of guys hire me to just give them a hype up entrance before that performance, and I tell you what, the performance anxiety goes away immediately. But guys, please tell the people who may not have seen your wonderful show, please tell them a little bit. I'm pulling it down in the Den style, but tell them a little bit about your origin story, how you guys came together in this perfect union. If we're two horsemen, you're most definitely four horsemen. Ding, without the trademark infringement. Please tell the people how you got
it is.
how you got the game, and we're off the air immediately. Ric Flair's doing us.
Well, I guess I'll go first, but yeah, we're the Dunmarks Pod. At Dunmarks Pod, you catch us live each and every single Saturday. We go live at 11 a.m. For everything that is pro wrestling with our Mount Rushmores and mushes of the week. But we got our start. Me and Chris, much like AEW, got our start with a bet. We had a guy that we knew that was on a podcast, and Chris called me like, "You won't believe this guy's on a podcast." And I said, "Nuh-uh." And sure enough, he was. And I said, "That's it. We're starting a podcast." So we started off two chubby white guys about to do a pro wrestling podcast, and then our lighter brother Jason and his little bit darker half Donald decided to join in as well to form the Fearsome Foursome. But we've all grown up with each other. We've known each other for decades, and it's just been, hey, let's take the interaction live on air that we normally do and chop it up anyway. So that's what makes the show go, right? We can sit there, crack on each other. Much of the time, we'll do a full podcast without recording and realize we just wasted a whole lot of good content.
Definitely.
Usually the clip of the week something stupid that somebody said. So
always hit the record button. Well, please, guys, if this is what the logo looks like, the coolest logo in the game, please subscribe to their channel. Best Wrestling Podcast. We're trying to get there, but they're the best wrestling podcast. They're my mentors in this game, so I'm happy to have you guys on the show. And, of course, my wise man. We couldn't even have this party without the wise man to the bearded one. You know him. He is the pharaoh of Christian Mingle, making sure everything goes the one. Big Gerald. How you doing today, brother?
Man, everything is gorgeous. First of all, guys, thank y'all so much for gracing us again. It's been a wonderful wrestling atmosphere going on. WrestleMania is right around the corner. I can't wait to get into it.
Absolutely, and that's what we're about to do. We're about to make like I almost said something super inappropriate, but I forgot we're live, so I'm going to go ahead and skip to what I was about to say. It's on
No dump button. You got no dump button.
No dump button.
Give us our clip of the week. Come on, hit it up.
On right now, Mercedes Moné has already debuted for doing. And guys, if you're watching AEW, stop, just stop. But Mercedes Moné has made her debut. She has come for the wrestling, not the big bag of money that apparently Tony Khan is dumping NFL running back contracts at these pro wrestlers nowadays. But what do you guys think about Mercedes finally parking the Mercedes into AEW? And will it move the needle at all?
Well, I mean, according to the attendance tonight at TD Garden, she's definitely buried the needle all the way to full and then some. So, granted, it's her hometown, but you got to say, first time out the gate, absolute home run from the CEO.
It's making me think about it. Yeah, I haven't missed the past couple AEW shows here in Pittsburgh, and you got Okada, you got Ospreay, you got Monet now. Let me know the next time they're in Pittsburgh, and I might show up to that one.
I'll pump the brakes on when they come to Pittsburgh because, like I always say during our show, who's booking the show? TK still booking the show. So until his booking gets better, cut me out of all the situations with AEW.
Donald's the resident hater. If he puts on red sunglasses while we're on this pod, nothing hide your children because it's about to go down.
I still have Mercedes slated as to save for Bailey at WrestleMania, but I'm happy to see her on my TV screen.
So she'll be there. She'll be at Mania.
She's already Mania. I don't know if you guys already said. She was like, I'll be back in WWE. So, yeah. I mean, I know Tony Khan had to be like, holy shit, can the ink dry just a second before you tell your future plans? I'm happy for it, though. I love the boss. Oh, I'm sorry, the CEO.
The CEO gimmick, I'm cool with. You can run with it. I got no problem with it. The theme song, the entrance music is gonna have to grow on me. The Sasha theme was just so there.
I caught it.
It was one of the best themes, and I gotta let this one rock for a couple weeks, see if it grows on me. But
sadly, even if she goes back to WWE, they'll have to change her theme music there. So it's like that's gone.
Yeah.
We got to get away from the three-letter acronyms: the CEO, the MJF, the DMD. All
AEW Sting, AEW, 3 letters. You got to fall in line with the company logo.
That's what it is. Hey, kindergartners got to follow somehow.
I'm still out on it. I think Tony Khan has proven that him in the women's division just doesn't match. Feeding Britt Baker to Mercedes Moné isn't going to really do anything for me. And other than her, it's not many other women in AEW you could think about that's going to, really give her any advantage. She'll spend time, at least a year or two, with AEW, and she'll be back fighting Charlotte Flair for a belt. Now that Charlotte's healthy and coming back for the WrestleMania week.
Now look, she got I'm thankful to be here. I love you guys. I took care of my brother. So we got that promo out the way. Next week when the CEO shows up, I want the CEO. Don't give me the smiling. I'm happy to be here. Nah, I'm CEO. I'm running the division. It's time for me to put all you heifers on notice.
She's already number one contender. You have no choice.
I mean, she brought up Willow first thing, saying that they have unfinished business. They got to take care of that. So I'm expecting her back at the end of the night.
Yeah, that's the only reason why they're main event.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, to me, it's just Tony Khan with another toy in his toy box. I really, really rooted for AEW, especially at the time when Vince was, or the name that we shall not name, was doing his thing, and WWE was really like at a low creatively coming out of the pandemic. I really, really rooted for AEW, but I'm with you, brother. Tony Khan has not proven to me that he can book.
Exactly.
I wouldn't trust him in a game of 2K. Like, his matches make no sense. There's no feel when he tries to do story. He pushes the wrong people. mean, I'm looking at this card, wrong slide. Looking at this card.
We can talk about that one too.
Oh, we will. But we're looking at this card. We obviously know Wardlow has got choked out. What is that it for Wardlow? How can you recover from that?
Look, man, I used to say on our show all the time, whoever wins the belt is automatically wrestling Lance Archer. Much like the woman would face Nyla Rose, it just that's the way it went. I don't know how you get Wardlow, who you had hotter than fish grease, was the modern day Goldberg of Goldbergs as far as organic builds, and now he might as well just hang out in catering and not even come out when the United Undisputed, whatever the heck they're calling themselves, Kingdom, comes out on stage, because he means nothing in the grand scheme of things at all.
You even had a possible story going in with the Undisputed Kingdom, like him maybe Adam Cole beefing. But now it's just like, what's the point now?
He could go back to IWC. There's an event happening at the end of April. He could show up.
That's the local promotion here around town that him, Britt Baker, a couple other prominent big time wrestlers came through and cut their teeth at. I just don't know. I mean, they can turn on him and say, listen, you're the only one without gold in this faction, but that story trope is kind of tired and run through, and with it being hot shot, it really doesn't get me invested in wanting to root for Wardlow. So I have no idea where they go with him from here right now.
We talked about this past week on our
Roll
show.
the 10.
Possibly, but like you know, Ospreay says he wants to belt it all in. So is that the trajectory now? You know, they had divert on the road to All In, and Wardlow's just the first bump, unfortunately, because of it.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Wardlow, because you hit the nail on the head. He was as hot as magma and completely organic, completely homegrown, an AEW guy, and they just flushed it down the toilet. They tried to build him back up, had him lose like the TNT title 63 times. I think I got a reign in there, and I don't even know how. I was just getting popcorn. I was like, 3 of them. What the hell? And then he comes back. He never gets his story with MJF. That was not satisfying at all. You know, I don't know how much of that was a work with MJF walking off, but that to me was the nail in the coffin. That little incident there. And from there, it's just been a waste. And I think the only thing that can help him is a Triple H finger point and heading on over to NXT, and Shawn Michaels will do him right.
Or he could grow his hair back too, you know, get his power back.
It's getting longer. It's coming in.
Like whenever Superman had to regenerate himself, he has to regrow the hair.
Yeah, he need that ponytail back.
Now look, you guys, and we've had this discussion on our show, but Mars and Big G, I'd like to get your opinions on this with this question, because we talked about it. But you brought up AEW in the booking and how you wanted to root for it, you were excited in the beginning, etc., etc. If you take AEW for what it is, where it's just fantasy wrestling, right? Like you're booking your dream matches and everything else, and bell to bell, they're going to give you the best wrestling on the planet. They're going to go by, right? If you just view them through that prism, do you like them better in that sense? Do you have to have the story and everything else that comes with what we grew up on or know as of being pro wrestling? Because their booking style and their show faction wise, etc., is more in line with New Japan style, which would make sense based on the Bucks and Kenny and everybody that they came in, compared to a true North American style of wrestling. If you just watch it through that prism, do you give them more leeway and a bigger leash than holding them as a true comparison to WWE?
Yeah, I think we have to look at it. The lens is that they are an alternative, and they always set out to be an alternative. You can't compare what they're doing, because one is sports entertainment and one is pro wrestling, and there's definitely a divide. I just feel that when sports entertainment is done right, And since Trips has taken over, I think he's been more right than wrong. You realize that the reason why Vince had the name that we shall not say had the number one promotion globally for decades is because when it's done right, the emotion of the character and the story mixed with the physical match is what really gives you the WrestleMania moment, or that moment that you remember. I don't give a shit if you do 67 Canadian destroyers in the match and pop up and don't sell and jump through plate glass and cut your head with pizza cutters. I don't give a shit. I grew up with Ultimate Warrior, who couldn't wrestle or talk, being a superstar. He had nothing but steroids and 4 seconds of energy, but
cocaine
and the power of pure Colombian-driven snow. It worked for me. So I think what Tony Khan is missing is a team around him. He has all the money in the world that he could hire the Jim Cornettes, the well, rest in peace to Scott Halls when he's there. He could hire these great minds and put them in prominent positions where he could have the best promotion. He has the talent to do it as far as a roster, but he needs somebody. He's got too much on him. He's got, I think Big Gerald would say this Jerry Jones effect, where he's got too many hands in the Kool-Aid, and I don't think I want any hands in my Kool-Aid. What about you, Big Gerald?
So for me, you brought up something very important, the New Japan feel. But when they first started this, one of the feels that they were trying to give us was old school WCW nostalgia, from bringing in good old JR to, having the matches where there was a lot of more hardcore, matches. But the thing with Tony Khan, like Marsh said, is once he's seen that, oh, this is my sandbox and no one's taking me seriously, I'm going to drive it the way I want to drive it. Like he, a lot of the guys that he had, he could have really pushed to the moon and gave the people what they wanted. Not to sound like The Rock, but we the fans were giving him, oh, okay, this is your guy. We really enjoy him. And then all of a sudden, he was gone and out the way. He wanted to drive CM Punk. That didn't do well for him. He had a lot of story arcs where Jacob Freeman could have been the big wrestler on the planet. He had gold with that. But Tony Khan has a way of making his wrestlers feel unwelcome unless they're old WWE wrestlers that come to your promotion.
I think the biggest thing with TK that I've noticed, and more recently, is people have become available and who he signed and who he's pushed, is we all know he's a super fan. We all know that he was at every single ECW event, etc., etc. If he was a fan of yours as he was watching wrestling, then you're his guy and he's going to push you. If he didn't watch you and wasn't a fan of yours, you may get a little bit of rub, but you're not going to be front and center like you potentially could be and should be, a la Wardlow, right? Like, so look, with the great minds around him, he's had how many great minds around him? From Arn Anderson to Dean Malenko to Jerry Lynn to Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson to Regal for a cup of coffee.
Paul White.
Yeah, I mean, Dustin Rhodes has been there since the beginning. Mark Henry, hell, even Jericho. Say what you will about him now, but the eye for the business has always been there. So you got to delegate. The best CEOs aren't the best CEOs because they run everything. They're the best CEOs because they make multiples of themselves and others. The more people that you can make into yourself, the better off your business is going to be, regardless of what business endeavor you're pursuing. And he's done a terrible job of delegating and building others up to be a CEO like him. No Sasha Banks, pun intended there. Which has hurt the product over the last year and a half, 2 years, which coincides with Cody Rhodes leaving as well. So
the discussion we had this past week was him delegating and what he's done with Ring of Honor, how that's become non-existent over the past year.
Yeah, all that has managed to do is make a confusing amount of belts. Like, I feel like AEW has 37 championships.
Yep.
Once
He's
again,
Oprah.
I have a title and I've never worked there, but I got one shipped to me. Apparently, I'm the Intercontinental America Uranital champion, and it's really weird to me.
Or spin on it. Pound 95 European champ.
Yeah, he makes everything meaningless by making it very overindulgent for what he wants. Like, I feel like he allegedly went on a bender of something white, and I'm not talking about flour, and was like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna book tonight. Like, they showed him he has like this little notebook of paper where he just books the matches, and I'm like, this guy is literally running a multi-million-dollar company on scratch paper. It's very alarming to me. So I agree with you 100%, Steve. If he would have delegated and put some of these names in certain positions and then just sit back and let the money roll, obviously you can be the final say, as well you should be, but him still booking the shows at this level is very weird to me. If you didn't learn from Vince, probably not the best move to put too much of yourself in the business.
Don't say his name. Don't say his name. Don't say his name.
BKM.
Voodoo Kid Mafia.
So,
He's
did you-
getting hard truth out here.
Oh
Hey,
my God! What?
did you just allude? Did you just allude that Tony Khan's running around with the list of Jericho?
pretty much. I mean, he still has Jericho in front and center in every storyline. So
What is on that list?
apparently,
Clearly got women's title matches.
hair dye, sexual harassment, lots of things on that list. But allegedly, I don't want to get sued before we get out the gate. But I think that's 20 minutes on AEW. That's probably the most I spent on AEW in the last year and a half since.
You got 4 additional people talking, so that's that'll add to the length of time.
Yeah, that's 15 minutes too much. You talk about them.
Well, hopefully this pay-per-view
We went 2 minutes over any women's match he had all last year.
We talked more about Mercedes Moné than he's had women's wrestling in the last half year. So there you go, right there. So next on the docket, we've got some more matches announced for our 2-night extravaganza. Buy one, get one, as CM Punk says. So this is the card so far. What are we excited about, and what do we feel still has an opportunity to be added to the show of all shows?
Donald, you're gonna go ahead and start with your tagline as you say each and every single week on the show.
Which
What are we
is
on? What are we on? Look,
Which is
great podcasting. Look, he don't
yeah,
even know
that's
the
what
tagline.
is.
Like, what?
You just gotta ask, are you still on the road?
We're on the road. Thank you, Jason. Look,
Are you
Jason,
still on the road? That's our question to Donald. Are you still on the road? Because he's a wrestling fan that's not a wrestling fan. Are you still on the road?
I'm still on the road, yes, but I'm on the road for one match. That's it.
One match? Out of that
I'm on the
whole
road for
card?
one match so far. Yeah, so far. And the match that I'm looking forward to is Cody and Roman. Everything else I don't believe in right now. They didn't. Yeah.
Well, they got a month to hook you back in and get you more invested.
Well, I'm not trying to give out my predictions already. You know, we got a couple of weeks for them, but a lot of the stuff already been spoiled. You know, for me months and months ago. So
I will say the build so far has focused on the top 4, top 5 when you factor in Drew, right? And that's been the build so far. Now you're like 3 weeks, a month out, a little less than a month, technically. So now I feel like you're going to get more story involved with your other matches that you're rolling out. I will say, maybe a spoiler alert for Saturday when we get into Mushes on our show, but I hate that the tag team championship went from the main event of WrestleMania last year to now a 6-team ladder match with no story, just because it's 2 nights and we're getting everybody on the card.
Man, it could have went on the pre-show.
I'm
At
interested in
least
that
it's on the
match.
card.
I wouldn't be surprised if it still ends up getting bumped to the pre-show when it's all said and done.
That's one of the matches I'm interested in. I don't care about the story much, but the match I want to see. You get a ladder tags. They always put
It gets hectic when you do Money in the Bank with 7 people in a ladder match. You're gonna have 12 people in there.
Yeah.
And one ladder.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna
I'm
be
sure they'll have multi-ladders. I'm sure WWE's ladder budget is out of this world. But yeah, now the tag. You're right. You know, this was the first time that the tag team titles in WWE has been prominent in probably my lifetime, and I love tag team wrestling. Like I'm a LOD mark to my life. I was trying to make those spike shoulder pads, but apparently it's a weapon and schools don't like it. But I tag team titles. I thought the big announcement was going to be they're bringing either another set of tag team titles or they were going to have some new belts. And I don't know. Throwing people into WrestleMania just so they can make WrestleMania when you have 2 nights, that's a bit much to me. I don't know. What do you think, Big Joe?
I'm surprised we're talking about the tag team wrestling that long. Spoiler to anybody who will think about it, but they're going to put the belt on probably one of the best comedic wrestlers of all time. The Miz and R-Truth are going to win the belts. And unfortunately, that's where we got it right now. With with everything going on with He Who Will Not Be Named, the fact that Brock got pushed out of it and CM Punk got hurt, this was a Hail Mary at the end of the fourth quarter for WrestleMania. And unfortunately, a lot of storylines just got kind of convoluted. Love Sami Zayn to death. Don't want to see him wrestle Gunther. Really don't. And so it's one of those things where those wrestlers, when you don't hype up other guys, because Sami Zayn came out the blue. Now, go for the belt. Does anybody on this panel believe that Sami Zayn is winning that belt?
No.
That's what I thought. They could have went with Chad Gable, and I'd at least been interested.
I can lay out a defense attorney argument if you want me to for Sami Zayn, but we'll hold that for another show.
But
to me, I don't think. To me, I don't even think that's going to be the match. I think something else is going to happen between them.
Yeah.
Yep. That's the
think
match.
Chad Gable still somehow gets another chance?
Yes, that's just the match for this week.
We want Gable hashtag, and then
Don't worry, because it seems like that they listen to the fans now all of a sudden, so it's going to change.
If they really listen to us, why is LA Knight doing absolutely nothing at WrestleMania? He may be quite possibly one of the hottest wrestlers in your whole company right now.
I will say I enjoyed that.
Man could be host of WrestleMania for me because that's all we do is just talk.
Hosting may be more prominent in this match with AJ Styles. Like nobody after that on their bingo card is like, I'd rather see AJ Styles have a triple threat match with the OC against each other.
Just squash the beef on the one match, huh?
Yeah, now you're really going to get Donald mad. You brought up Gallows and Anderson. You might drop himself off.
Those young guys are doing big things at NXT, so they have a bright future ahead of them. 25 years.
I mean, yes, we all know the original plans changed multiple ways and multiple times so far, right? You're really putting your eggs in all your basket as far as it's 5 people carrying 2 nights. Cody, Seth, Roman are pulling double duty. You got The Rock in a tag match, great, and you got Drew coming after the belt. Now, Drew is by far probably the most invested I've ever been in Drew McIntyre in my entire life right now. Character standpoint, in-ring standpoint, social media following standpoint, the man is absolutely knocking every single pitch out of the park. So I don't know how you don't have him beat Seth.
Yeah, no, I definitely, and if we're doing picks, I agree.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, no,
it's to have his moment. The last time he won it at Mania, there was nobody there. So, granted, he's not a babyface, but I guarantee you, he beat Seth, he's going to get cheered.
He's going to be a babyface coming out of WrestleMania because he's so cool as if he's what Kevin Owens used to be. Like, he's the only person that realized he's in a wrestling show. And he just points out the ludicrous things that we say at home, and we love him for it. He's us, but, not as muscular. Essentially.
I don't need that. I need Troll Drew. I need Troll Drew.
You brought up Troll Drew. When you're driving around the parking lot after the show, banging "Call to Personality" to the fans, that's I'm going to put you up on the top of my list all the time.
Wonderful.
All the time.
I did let it happen because it didn't happen on TV. So focus.
Chris, what you got down there, Chris? You deep in thought down there. What's going on?
Honestly, I mean, you guys know we talk about this every week. This is probably the least invested I've been in a WrestleMania season in many years, for multiple reasons. Mostly I just don't have faith in the company right now. It's not doing anything for me at all. Like it's no different today than it was a year ago. And I haven't been a fan lately, and I watch a segment here and there on YouTube, but I'm not watching any of the main programming at all.
We're gonna have to carry that. We're gonna have to carry that conversation maybe over to Saturday morning with who's running the show this week. Jason, there you go. There's your initial topic.
Good job.
No, that's me.
Oh, Donald's up.
Our resident hater, Cal Jones, who's not been there. We love him because he points out some of the ludicrous things that they have going on.
I like this guy.
I can't believe that CM Punk's injury and Brock Lesnar's allegations messed up their show so much. We knew Gunther and Brock was going to happen 2 Royal Rumbles ago, and they instead put him in an endless feud with Cody Rhodes for some reason. Troll Drew is the Troll Drew. Almost said Troll Jew. Nothing wrong with that. Troll Drew is the best thing that's come out of CM Punk's injury. That's the best thing that we have going on right now with WWE. Well over The Rock, well over the Bloodline. That's the best thing going on. It's just a shame that injury and that allegation has thrown WrestleMania this close, 3 weeks away, and this is the card we have.
For 2 nights. Don't forget that. This is 2 nights, and that's the card.
Look, I'm Jason. I may have to borrow your WWE tape for a second because I'm more optimistic than everybody right now besides Jason. Like, I can make a case in point for each one of these matches and what they've done so far as story and build to get me invested to want to see 2 nights worth of WrestleMania. Now, will more of the card come out? Probably, but we all know Triple H, if you don't know, and lived under a rock while NXT was being ran for a decade. He doesn't like long cards with a ton of matches. So you're not going to get your 12, 14 match WrestleMania cards anymore. Not going to happen. You'll get probably 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 at the most over 2 nights, 5 per night. And they're going to be longer matches, which may or may not be a plus depending on the matches itself and who's in them and who's involved. But that's what you're going to get. And that's what Triple H does, and that's where he excels at from a pay-per-view standpoint. It really hasn't been a bad pay-per-view since he took over.
You're muted, Mars.
You're muted.
There we go. I
Who's
did that.
muting himself?
I wanted to test you guys, and you guys passed with flying colors. When you think about WrestleMania, especially now that it's 2-night 40 and The Rock come out, your expectations be bigger. I think. I don't know. What do you guys think? I feel like
let me throw the question out there, and we can go around the horn like this D.E.N show that's been on half of my life.
You taking over hosting here? I'm not throwing the question out here. You asked the question, and you asked the question. Then ask another question.
No, because what he said
secretly why I brought him on.
Why?
Mute him, Mars. Mute him.
CM, hypothetically, let's say CM Punk's healthy and there's no allegations against Brock. So your quote unquote matchups, take The Rock out of the picture because he wouldn't have been in the picture. You have CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, Rock versus Gunther, and Cody versus Roman. It's not much different than what they have going on right now.
Except it makes more sense, and
Well, I think The Rock would have been in it, but I don't think we'd have got the knee-jerk Rock Cody standoff. I think we could have held our feet to the fire with the true who's the true leader of the bloodline narrative, and not to throw us off. But can we talk about the elephant in the room and how they took how they let Prime take over the mat? Can we talk about how that's going to look?
Donald gave that as the mush of the week on our show last week for the Prime sponsorship.
Did you see the pics online that like the Prime's logo that ruined the biggest moments?
Yeah, it's hideous, especially the freeze pop version of all Prime bottles of like a big, giant, nasty freeze pop. I tasted that Prime, and I swear to God, there's elephant piss in that thing. It's
trash.
It's disgusting.
Like Chris, just like you said, hey, Nick Khan's all about money. So anything about money, that's all it is about money.
You could have gave me the ring post. Remember when Mountain Dew used to sit on the desk? Sponsor. You could have done that. Commentator drink it. That's all you
This
need.
guy named the main sports drink for the LA Lakers. He had that announcement this week too.
Yes,
I mean,
trash.
I'm okay with it in a way because, I mean, yeah, we're not used to seeing that in WWE, but WCW's done it, did it for years. AEW does it. TNA currently does it. And then, of course, you see that always in UFC as well. Like, it's going to be weird to get adjusted to, I think, but so many other people do it, it's just going to become commonplace.
I think I wouldn't feel as bad if it was just the word in the middle, not the whole damn bottle.
Yeah, it's the rocket pop for me. That's the problem. I'm like, yeah, I want a rocket pop, but I don't. That was a poor kid's choice at the ice cream truck. Canceled.
Oh God! Oh God!
Rocket pops. But yeah, I mean, there's still plenty of time. I also am I the only one a little disappointed of the Rhea and Becky build up?
Well,
I mean, you had to build up for how many months now?
Yeah.
I don't want to see Becky and Rhea. Like, I wanted to see Rhea versus a heel Bianca Belair. Like, that's what I wanted to see.
There wasn't enough time to tell that story. You could play that out.
And look, that's a main event angle. Like those two, if Bianca's going heel, you're turning the woman's John Cena heel against Rhea. That's a night main event. I'm just night one.
Yeah, it is.
Night main event.
Yeah, Bianca's out there promoting her reality show right now. You aren't going to see a heel Bianca just yet.
Yeah. Well, hopefully when they
just off the.
What did you say, Donald? Go ahead.
Oh, that wasn't me.
Well, I said she just came off the racist cover talk, so he's going to charge her heel right now. The angry black woman.
Yeah. I can wait till next year. I'm patient. WrestleMania 41. If Roman can come back from cancer and be a heel, we can go. She'll come back from a little bit of racism. We all deal with it from time to time. It just rolls off the shoulder.
They can make her a heel as long as they don't tag her with Jade Cargill. Don't put her in the women's tag division at all. Just leave her be.
Which gives good question. Does Jade make the card this year? Are we that scared of her performance in the ring?
I don't. There's not a lane for Jade at Mania right now.
I'm okay with not rushing it.
Yeah.
Really? Because I'm thinking a tag match against the rest of Damage Control. Jade and Bianca versus the Kabuki Warriors. I think that's an obvious.
Do we still have to have the female Andre the Giant Battle Royal on SmackDown the night before?
I hope not. I really hope not.
There you go.
Female Andre the Giant. Who would that be? Nia Jax? The Nia Jax Battle Royal.
Is the Becky Rhea build the greatest? What they said on Monday night between the two of them. Yeah, but I think what's hurt Rhea, she hasn't wrestled.
True.
Go back. She's about to come up on a year as champion. And I think she's wrestled less than Roman has. So, like, how invested do you want me to be to see a babyface take the belt off her as a heel champion? The chase is supposed to get you on your seat. Like, you're supposed to be anticipating the babyface going into WrestleMania, knocking the heel off, and that's what you're invested in. But in this instance, it's not there.
Yeah, she's been cold, and I know she had some concussion. I remember when she first joined Judgment Day, she had a lot of concussion issues. She was out with no work she had to get done. So maybe they're protecting their investment, keeping her. Everybody can't be Seth Rollins where you just wear yourself out to your back breaks. But I think that has something to do with it. But she's a star, I don't think anyone can argue that.
I'm definitely interested in seeing where they go with this match. Judgment Day and Rhea are still very hot. Did they just take the belt off of Rhea after a year just to take it off her, to put it on Becky? I don't know if that's the best move.
No, I think she goes over on Becky. She's already gone over at Charlotte. I think she ends up going over all the 4 horsewomen before it's all said and done. So I think Becky does the job for to really establish Rhea Ripley as the head of the women's division. I don't know. What say you, fellas, Big Girl?
I think that she'll keep the belt because they're really going to circle around and make this Damian Priest breaking up the Judgment Day line go all the way through. If they lose the tag belts in the ladder match and then he tries to cash in the Money in the Bank after Drew goes beat Seth and then he beats Drew, I think you got a story going into SummerSlam.
Yeah, I not to get into predictions, but I don't feel a world where Drew doesn't walk away with the gold where Rhea doesn't retain. I don't think that world exists just yet. But moving out of WrestleMania, we have a new segment tonight that we're going to get into. I have some of the best wrestling minds on the planet. I wanted to take advantage of that. We do have a new segment tonight, and it is called Wrestling with Fat. So our sponsor at Poddex, which you can get a 10% discount if you code the D.E.N. They've got some specially curated wrestling questions for you guys, and we're gonna go in order. I'm gonna give you guys a question, and I want to hear from you what you think. We're gonna start with Chris. Start with you, Chris.
Okay.
So right
Chris,
now,
Chris has won trivia championships on other wrestling podcasts. So
this isn't trivia. This is just in his opinion.
okay, all
Right
right.
now, who has the best and worst gimmick right now in the industry?
In the industry. Ooh.
In the industry right now.
You picked the wrong one. My memory's so bad.
Right
I'm a
now,
Seth fan. I'm a Seth fan. Yeah, I love everything about what he does. With his gimmick. It's just what's wrestling when you just turn it up to 11. He delivers in the gimmick. He delivers in the ring. I'm a big Seth fan. I'll give him
Billy Ray wouldn't like that, but I agree with you. I love Seth.
Worst gimmick. This is tough. If someone wants to go and come back to me for worst gimmick.
Anyone can chime in.
My worst gimmick is out the mud on NXT.
Oh God. Talk about racism killing me inside. Of course, Chris.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm loving Reggie and Jada Parker. Trash. Get him out of here. Worst gimmick. Toss it between him and the family.
Yeah, once again, that racism is killing me inside. I'm like, didn't we do the FBI like 20 years ago? Little Guido's like, he's still in my gimmick over here. Hey.
I'm probably reminisced to say that it took me this long to think of it, but I gotta go. The Bum of Bums, Eddie Kingston, is probably the worst thing in pro wrestling. He's one of those ones where I don't watch much wrestling live anymore, so when he comes on, fast forward.
He does look like the Terminator I had out, but he's pretty good. Anybody else want to chime in on best worst gimmicks right now?
best gimmick right now.
I got a worse one. Yes.
Let's get it.
Tony Storm. Yeah, that's a great one for the best one. Tony Storm?
Right now.
That's okay.
I have a worse one. But I don't think nobody like it. I hate the Yeet movement. Jey Uso. I hate the Yeet movement. I hate that they say it. I hate they continue to use it. Let them be Jey Uso. I hate the Yeet movement. I don't want to hear it.
It's cringy, but it's growing.
Steve's going every week with Pat McAfee. So, I mean,
Pat McAfee had the line of night on Monday night. On myself. I busted out laughing. I'm like, he got that on air, and nobody said a thing. That used to be like Conan coming out talking about Arriba and Rasa before salad. Like that was Monday night, and he got that off every Monday night. Pat McAfee got yeeted and the Peacock off on WWE TV live on air.
Nobody's paying attention, but I see what he does. I love the vision. He said, I'm going to eventually get fired, and when I do, I want to be with cause. So I'm all for that. All right, so let's ask Donald. Donald, what championship belt has the best design, and which one has the worst?
For me, I think the worst design is the U.S. title. I mean, I know it's a newer belt and all that stuff, but I think it's time for it to be.
So you hate America? Good.
Or you know what? Or you know what? I take that back. The IWGP Heavyweight Championship. That's probably one of the worst belts I've ever seen. Yeah, I do take that back. That and the best design belt, I'll have to say, I'll go with the TNA X Division. I'm really digging that new design on that belt a lot.
It's a good design.
Yeah, I think all the new TNA belts all hit except for the red strap on the tag team titles.
Worst is a toss up between US and TBS and TNT. I just hate the TV logos.
So I'm gonna go left. My favorite belt is the North American Championship or NXT. I don't know. It's just super old school, like very respectful. The color of the strap.
AWA territory day belt. Like,
yeah, I love that thing. It's classic. And the worst, I'm still gonna say I don't really like Seth's world title. He didn't have that big ass W in the middle. It'd be fine, but it looks like he went and like from a car shop. Just like, damn, W. We're good to go. So I hate the world title.
I like the current world title, but I'm a big gold fan, so I think that's partially.
I love the big gold. I just wish they would have brought back the big gold. I know you got to put the branding on everything, but that big ass W just is like.
Well, it's also on Seth Rollins, so that's why Chris likes it.
Anybody else?
I got worse. I really dislike the international title in AEW. The Atlantic International, Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean title, whatever the hell it's called. It's a pointless belt. It makes no sense to just throw flags on there like we're sticking candles in the ink. Call it a belt.
Who's even that champion right now? Is it still Orange Cassidy?
Roderick Strong.
That just gave me a strong migraine.
It's called forgettable. That's what it's called.
It is.
Yeah.
I always equated. I always thought the TNT belt was equivalent to the Intercontinental title. Then I'm like, it's more like a TV title. Then you have a Mid-Atlantic Continental belt. And then you still have Hook walking around with the FTW belt that's not even.
And then you got the Ring of Honor TV title.
Yes.
Which is trash. That's my wish.
Belts. Which one?
The Ring of Honor one? It's pointless.
No.
All of those Ring of Honor belts, they kept the Ring of Honor belt just for Jericho calling stuff Ocha.
100%.
Darby and Jay White just absolutely the house now.
Can't believe that guy's still walking and breathing. Darby Allin, sir.
Darby wanted to have one last good match.
Yeah, before he goes see Green Boots at Mount Everest, be careful out there, brother.
Right.
All right, Jason, your question. If you could spend a day with I love how they put the wrestler / star. Who would it be?
Bianca.
Whoa. Say that again. Bianca?
Yeah.
EST?
Come on, you ain't never said nothing about no black woman on your life, and now you gonna be on here with two black clothes. All you do is wear white women t-shirts on our show.
I was gonna say, what shirt's he wearing right now?
Blasphemy. He's lying.
Bianca's a fine thing in wrestling.
The cap.
That Hulu subscription got Jason hooked on Bianca. He ain't never
Brought
brought
her up to the show, man.
never brought her up before in his life. Bianca. Morris, I'm gonna need you to clip this and send this so I can play it on Saturday for our fans. Because
I will send you Exhibit A.
people are gonna go in on Jason tired about Bianca.
I feel betrayed in my heart. I was like, oh man. I was like, yeah, I like that. He was like, that's not true. Big Gerald, I know you're a happily married man, so it's probably like Cody Rhodes. But what wrestler would you spend the day with if you could?
Randy Orton.
Stupid. No. I just feel like he would say that at least once a day if I was for Randy Orton. With me, it's going to be Rhea for obvious reasons. Because obviously, she had to get dealt. So I would say Rhea Ripley.
If you follow her social media, I gotta go with Natty.
Not
trying to make Roars rolled up.
She helps her sister out with her social media too.
I've heard she's got. Don't she have an OnlyFans?
I'm not going to confirm or deny that.
Allegedly, her sister may have an OnlyFans. You can hit Jason up offline, and he'll send you a secret code you can download and get all the free links.
Anyone has the Reddit, just for journalistic integrity, I'll be happy to take a look just to make sure I can report that to the people. Because that's what we're about.
We're all about the facts in this segment, right?
All about the facts. Hardcore journalism. I mean hardcore. How about you guys? What wrestler?
We heard. That's why I picked Randy Orton.
Yeah, you did the right thing. You won't get any harassment charges. Next week, Steve's going to be the host. And like, what happened to Sean? Yeah, he said he hang out with Rhea Ripley.
I'm having a hard time picking just one, to be honest with you. Depending on what we're going to do for the day. I know who I got two that Donald would potentially pick. One is the best wrestler in the world, top three, but not 2 or 3, and maybe a couple boys that say yes. May be Donald. So like,
I ain't spending no wrestling day with those dudes. You crazy?
Donald's going with Rio.
I'm going with Big. I'm going with Kyrie Sane, Io Sky. Oh yeah. You can put
I'm gonna keep it with a low. I'll go with the Dr. Britt Baker. Give me DMD. I'll spend the day with DMD.
And what? Be here eating Permanis.
Hell of a day. Get my teeth cleaned and do a white man. Like
Jason, I got you on this. You ain't never picked a white woman in your life.
Very true. I mean, you want me to run down the list? I'll run down. We got Sasha, we got Mercedes, we got Bianca, we got Will. I mean, I'll run down the list. Jade, Jade for sure, 1,000%. Give me an iPhone 7 and I'll snap pictures all day long.
I don't even know if the iPhone 7 did snap pictures.
I think it just did like etch a sketch.
I tried to do it for wrestling reasons, and you guys are all wrestling reasons for questions. I'm taking the question serious. Bringing some wrestling journalism.
Jason answered it seriously, and you should on him.
No, he definitely did not answer that seriously. He never brought up Bianca in his life.
You want to scroll through my Instagram feed?
He got a cousin named Bianca.
No.
I was like, we can't show that here. We can't show.
You just see the right to censor come and grab you.
You got to go on
like
after
Venus. All right, so Steve, I got this one for you. You can have a role in any wrestling company. What would it be, and what company?
There we go.
There we go.
Booker. He's gonna be the Booker.
I mean, I the pencil all the time. I'd want to get a headset on and I'd be on commentary. Doesn't matter what company. I'll call TNA. I'll call WWE. I'll call AEW. I don't care destination. But yeah, give me a headset. I'd sit down and I'd be on the mic on commentary.
I always thought I'd be a good manager, but then Prince Nana took my whole gimmick. So, how about the rest of the crew? If you guys have a role in any wrestling company, what would it be?
I would love to be the local talent that just gets beat up by the stars.
Squashed.
That's it. That is all. That's all.
Marlboro jobbers over there.
That's it. Yeah, I'm not like the Barry Horowitz, the national jobbers. I just want to be the local jobber. Who come out to no music. That's it.
Oh man, because you coming out there and you getting a powerbomb by Schmitty and that terrible landing and like
that's it. Hey, but that's a 5-minute match, boy, and I got my money. I'm done for the week.
You know the local talent never has great gear. They always just come out like a pair of Hanes underwear.
Okay. I'm not a flashy person, so I don't need that.
You come out in Dawkins NXT gear, just basketball shorts and a tank top.
That's it.
Kofi Kingston's pretty much wrestling in basketball shorts lately. So you don't have to be a hospital person anymore.
I've never seen a person lose their chest more than Kofi Kingston has. Like, what happened? I didn't even know
Urban
that
legend
like,
says Big Show chopped his pectoral off.
That's it.
The reason I went to college, I have a degree in sport management. The whole reason was I wanted to eventually be head of live events and talent relations. I don't need to be on TV. Working corporate.
I mean, they're hiring as long as you. Apparently, they don't have a moral clause over at WWE. So
Unfortunately,
Allegedly.
Allegedly, there was an episode where I read this out loud. I don't think it's allegedly anymore.
Hey.
He has to have a day in court. Give him a day. He said it wasn't him.
Might have some executive positions open there. Take a shot.
Yeah,
I got a feeling Jason
would the Dr. Andrews. How about you, big girl? Any position, any role you would like to have in a wrestling company?
Referee.
Screw job.
Getting down though.
All right. I'm gonna be a ref for New Japan. I like the shirts.
The only referee Jason knows in New Japan.
Jason's New Japan reference. That's where he goes every single time.
Yeah, I think for me, it definitely would be Booker. If they looked at my WWE 2K24 universe, it's far better than anything they have going on any program international. So I think Booker, the roster I would want, low-key TNA. I wouldn't mind working with what they have. They have just enough talent where they're like, you can mold them and really put it, like if you came to WWE now, it's really not much to do. These guys are already established. So I think I would love to be Booker at TNA. I did more, let him go, but hey, I'm available, and I'm sure I can do it for a quarter of the price.
They might be looking for somebody.
It might be. Here's my resume. 7 episodes of Two Horseman Podcast. Slide that resume right on
Your
over.
boys when you need a creative team.
You can put me on ring crew. I'll build the ring.
And Big Girl, you're the referee. I think we got everything we covered right in this room. So
Jason, you don't do no work. You want to break down and put up the ring? What are you talking about? This dude hides in the back from setting up the Rock beauty product. You want to set up a ring?
You don't even know what I do at work. Just because I manage my time wisely. I get shit done.
I'm gonna call you.
They always be on break, but I get shit done.
I'm gonna call you the witness stand.
you take a break if you haven't been working. That's what I tell them when they see me on break. All right, so I did pick one for myself. So for me, got if you could retire a current championship belt, which one would it be? I'm a fan of less is more, so I would go in AEW and I'd take about 7 of those belts, toss a big ass grinder, and merge into one TNT, TBS, Intercontinental, Euro, Heavy World Cruiserweight, Hardcore International Championship, just one belt, or as Lance Stormhead, the Saskatchewan Hardcore International title. I would do one of those, but yeah, AEW has a far too many belts. All a Ring of Honor. It's done. You can't have two promotions within one promotion. It's ridiculous. So all those Ring of Honor titles, I'm retiring. FTW, it can go. Europe, whatever the PT can be rebranded into like just the United States title. Just keep it simple. World, mid card, women's, a mid card, and a tag belt. All you need. So that's where I would go.
Agreed.
I'm going the U.S. title. It just always felt inferior to everything else.
They should merge it with North American because I mean, like the United States is in North America, so it kind of makes sense.
You already mentioned Ring of Honor, so I think I'm going to go with New Japan Strong Belts. They've started to merge some of them together, but just go New Japan only. They use all the belts on Strong events anyways. So.
Good one.
Again, less is more.
For me, I'll do the IWGP heavyweight title, but I'll split it back up again until heavyweight and intercontinental.
Yeah, I do miss the Intercontinental title. And that was a dope belt. Anybody else?
I'm getting rid of the TNA Digital Media Championship. Just saying that.
Good one.
And it's like digital media, can that be broken down to like a TikTok champion, an Instagram champion, Facebook champion, somebody's grandma?
WWE will reuse it as the Speed Championship.
You can retire Zack Ryder with it.
Oh, don't hate
another one I'll take away is the Heritage Cup in NXT.
Yeah, that's not even a tie. It's just
it's a championship. You know,
walk around.
I'm hoping that gets pushed to NXT Europe whenever that launches.
For if they still end up doing it.
Yeah.
Oh man, well, that's perfect. Like we ended on a low talking about retiring opportunities for people, and I think that's where we should end it. So guys, this is not the last time, it's just the first time. Hopefully our audio will be a little better. I'm gonna figure that out. But I want you guys to please let people know exactly every day they can find you and where they can find your show, because I promise you it's absolutely phenomenal. The floor is yours.
Chris, you want to do the plugs or what?
Let's do it. You can follow us on all social media at DumbMarksPod. We're on TikTok right now, but who knows where that's going tomorrow.
Don't follow us on TikTok.
So, yeah, follow us everywhere at DumbMarksPod. Purchase the merch, ProWrestlingTees.com/DumbMarksPod. And you can view us every week on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch at 11 a.m. Eastern every Saturday, in the Dumbmarks Podcast.
Spotify, audio only listeners. Spotify, share, tell your friends to get on. Email us, dumbmarkspod@gmail.com. Comment. We always comment up with the fans. Back and forth. Some people don't get all their comments up based on what they say, but keep it light and airy. We don't go into anything too serious. On a serious note, we try to be fun and bring yourself some enjoyment on a Saturday whenever you may be cleaning your house, get ready to start cutting grass season, etc. So go on your boys for like an hour and a half every Saturday. Get your stuff done and
please set them out. And I couldn't do it without giving a little clip. So if you guys want to know what you're going to get, I took the liberty to bring this up.
I say WWE is the gateway drug. And when you want your hardcore stuff, that's when you venture off to bang, bang, bang. WWE gets you in.
What are we talking about? Hardcore bang, bang, bang.
Not on my show.
Yeah, this turned into an episode of the Dare program. How did we get here? Like, what do we...
You do that next week when you host.
So once again, if you want that hardcore bang, 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 please check out my fellas at the Dumb Marks Podcast. It is audio and visual art. Guys, I appreciate you guys coming back.
Thank you.
Let us know
Thank
when
you.
you want us to return your favor. We will be there.
When you and Big Gerald want to wake up for 11 a.m. on a Saturday morning, come join us.
I do it every day. Somebody's waking me up, so I will be there. Guys, we want to thank you so much for this special live stream episode. Big Gerald, please sign us out how we end every episode, if you will.
Shout out to the greatest. Hulk Hogan. We're here for you, nigga. Oh.
Coming for you. We're out. Love you.